Hey YouTube, it's Roxanne here. It's Wednesday, January, I'm not even sure of the number. Wednesday, January 19th. So I have my band in now, yay! Friday I went to the Slimband clinic and got my band put in. I posted a quick short little video on my ride there. I did just a 1 or 2 minute video. And I was on the way. It was totally snow blizzarding here. Actually, it was more like freezing rain, which I'm not sure if you can see out my big window back there, but it's pretty snowy today too. But so I left really early that morning. I had to be there at 8:30. My surgery was at 9:30, and I actually got there at 8:35. And that was leaving here. I'm about normally well, MapQuest said 40 minutes from my house to the clinic, so I left here at about 6:15, and I got there at 8:35. So it was pretty bad storm. And when I had messaged you, I was actually, or when I had done the video, I was actually not that far. So it took quite a long time to get through Toronto and down to the clinic because they're actually right down in the core. So anyways, I got there at 8:35. They checked me in, took me upstairs. I had a consultation with just a quick little talk about the band and the surgery and stuff like that with the surgeon. So he came in, told me about the band, told me how they do a calibration and they fill your band right then while you're on the table. He talked to me about the hernia repairs that they can do and told me basically what would happen. My husband was there with the babies. We picked up one of my friends on the way, so him and her left. I went into the operating room, and they left. They took the babies over to McDonald's or whatever, and Walmart. Walked around Walmart for a while and waited for me. And so I went into the operating room. They hooked up the intravenous into my hand, and I guess they put some type of medicine through the intravenous because I started to feel really like tired and whatever. So they did that. They put the mask on, told me to count, and I counted. Next thing you know, I woke up. I was in the recovery room. So it was good. It was easy. I woke up. I wasn't in that much pain. They said there'd be a lot of gas and stuff like that. I was okay. Not too bad that day. I mean, of course, they probably gave me pain medicine through my intravenous before they took it out. I'm not exactly sure. So I woke up. They had not called my husband. So I guess they had 2 people come out of recovery. They went their separate ways. Nobody confirmed who was actually going to call him. So nobody called him. So when they finally called him, he said, all right, I'll be there as soon as I can. So I went back to sleep. So when the nurse came in, I said, actually, when I came in, I forgot to ask. I never asked, can I actually see what the Slimband looks like? And she said, yeah, sure, no problem. And I said, also, the doctor told me that, you know, they will do a certain type of hernia repair, and I forgot the sheet, but so I'm wondering, did they have to do one for me? And she's like, we'll talk to you about it downstairs. And I said, well, the doctor also told me that the band is calibrated while they're putting it in, and I'm curious how much cc's or mils or whatever they put in the band. Oh, okay, well, we'll tell you when we get downstairs. So she come back in with the actual Slimband. For whatever reason, I don't know, I wasn't really with it. I asked her the same questions over again. She's like, I already told you, I'll tell you when we get downstairs. And I knew that. I was just kind of, I don't know, I guess it was loopy from the drugs or whatever. So she said, I'll tell you downstairs. So we get downstairs, and she goes over when my husband finally got there, I went back to sleep. I think he was a half an hour, 45 minutes. So we went downstairs. He come in to get me, and she went over all the, like, you get a binder. So she went over the binder with me and told me someone would call me every day or whatever. So I said, and then she took out the paper and said they did do a medium-sized hernia repair. So they have small, medium, or large. So mine was medium, kind of fell in the middle, and I guess it'll help with heartburn and things like that. So they did that, and I said, okay, well, he told me the band was calibrated, so how much is in my band? So she says, well, I didn't bring your file down. It's upstairs in your thing. And I'm thinking, seriously? I asked you twice upstairs. Like, obviously I want to know. So she says, well, most people don't ask. Most people, it's not a question that gets asked, so I never thought to bring your thing. And I thought to myself, okay, well, why wouldn't people ask. I don't know. I guess maybe it's something people don't really need to know. But, you know, how do I know I'm not leaving with 2 cc's and you're trying to fool me, right? Like, and then I'm doing it all on my own, and I might as well just not even have the band. So anyway, I was kind of irritated. And I was leaving, and she's like, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And so my husband said, you know, I think she wants to know how much is in there. Anyway, she was getting really frustrated. So I'm just like, you know what? I just want to go home. So I just left. And so I left there, and pretty much we drove home. It was still pretty slow, like slippery or whatever, but we got home pretty quick. So come in the door, and all hell broke loose for whatever reason. We come in, set the babies down over there. I undid the car seats because, you know, I can't lift them, but so I undid them, getting ready for my husband to lift her out. My daughter started puking everywhere. She was throwing up everywhere. So I thought, oh, great. And then my son, the little baby, the boy was okay. And I do have another child too. He's 9, and he's been okay through all this. But so, yeah, she was throwing up everywhere, and I thought, oh, great, because my husband had to go to work at 11. He works nights on the other side of Toronto, so he had to drive all the way back in. But so she's throwing up everywhere, and we're dealing with it. And anyway, so around midnight, I started throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. It was awful. I finally got some grapple into me, and I was okay. She slept most of the night. Saturday morning, woke up. I come down with her. My husband needed to sleep for 3 or 4 hours because he had just worked all night. He got here around 8. So she's in her high chair having just a few Cheerios because I didn't really want to give her anything too hard on her stomach. Throws up everywhere. She's throwing up everywhere. So I'm like, okay, give her some. I took her out, washed her up. I gave her a little drink of water. Like, I put 4 ounces in a bottle. Give her some water. I thought I'd take a break for a little bit. Tried to give her some milk. Threw it up everywhere. And really, this is only from Friday afternoon until Saturday. Well, I went upstairs to lay down because, you know, I was pretty tired because I was getting sick all night. And I took the Demerol, I took the other stuff, and I wasn't even in there for like an hour. And my husband comes running up, and she was having a seizure. So we put her on the bed, turned her on her side or whatever. This has never happened before. Called 911. They're telling us what to do, and they sent an ambulance. So, of course, I get dressed really, really fast, and I'm like running out the door with her, and it was just so crazy. It was just, it was the worst thing ever. It was the worst thing ever. So we get to the hospital. They think she's okay. Give her some Pedialyte. They think she's okay. They think they're not really the pediatrician. They're waiting for the pediatrician because she has no fever. She didn't even seem that dehydrated. Like, honestly, this is like 24 hours, and only really, I think she threw up, she had that big throw up maybe 3 times, and it was just so crazy. And we're sitting there waiting. Like an hour later, she had another one, and it was like 10 times worse. So they run her into the recess room, and I'm like, I followed them in. It was horrible. Like, it's forever burned in my head what happened there that day, because I'm telling you, a little baby having a seizure was the worst. So, and it was awful because, you know what, I was so sore. I wasn't even really with it. It was just the worst case scenario. And anything I say, I'm not complaining. I went. I would not have stayed here. I went. You know, there's no way I could have left her side. So anything I say, I'm not complaining. But I was sore sitting there. My incisions hurt. I had gas pains. I didn't want to take any of the pain medicine because I wanted to be, in my right mind when they're talking to me about what's going on with her. So they checked her in, put an intravenous in her. A few hours later, she took a full bottle, no problem. And the intravenous, really perked her up. By 9 or 10 at night, she had thrown up the whole bottle. But she still had the intravenous, so she was perked right up. She was better. So I stayed the night with her. The hospital here, every room has the crib and a bed for the parent. Like, the whole pediatric area, it's set up for, they expect parents to stay, I think. Not a long time ago. So anyway, I stayed there with her all night. I was so uncomfortable. And again, I'm not complaining. There was no other choice. I'm not complaining. I'm just talking to you about my surgery and how I felt. I'm like, just want to let you guys know how I felt. My incisions were sore. I had gas. I had the bed almost straight up. I was trying to lay on my side. She was having a hard time in the crib or whatever, so I was trying to sleep with her on my chest, and you know, her knees and feet and everything were in my incision, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course I wanted to be there with her. So anyways, we came home on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. What day is today? Today's Thursday. Everything seems to... Oh, I might have said it was Wednesday at the beginning of the video. Anyways, it's Thursday. Everything seems to be okay now. She's okay. Sick Kids has called me. She's got a referral for ECG and echocardiogram or whatever. And they're going to check her on February 8th. So... hopefully nothing is wrong. The reason they want to follow up, I have to go to the hospital to see the pediatrician, is because there was no fever. And really the dehydration wasn't there. Like, she didn't have signs of it in her eyes. Anyways, there was nothing else. But they did say when babies are sick, sometimes their brains just misfire. And that's kind of what they do to get themselves back on track. So, again, not complaining, but oh man, it was awful. So my husband called it. My husband he took Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. Wednesday he wasn't going to, but Monday I stayed up most of the day, and Monday night everything just caught up with me, and I took Demerol in the afternoon. I slept all afternoon, took it at night, slept all night, and I feel like $1,000,000 now. So everything's good. I have like a banded group that I'm part of, so they weigh in Wednesday mornings. I was going to do Fridays, but I don't want to weigh Wednesday and Friday for them, so I'm going to do my weigh-ins Friday. So I weighed myself Wednesday. I weighed myself Wednesday, and I was down to 246.2, so that's a total loss of 8.8 from the start of my detox diet. I'm not sure, I haven't figured out how often to do the measurements, but I'm thinking monthly or something. So anyways, that was my Slimband experience. The nurse called me yesterday because today I started full fluids. So I did clear fluids for the whole week. Excuse me. And today started full fluids. They called me yesterday, so I had a talk with her about what happened there, because I said to her, you know, this band was expensive. I am paying for it. I feel like it's in my body. I want to know where my starting base was for, you know, how much is in my band. So she did tell me there are 7 cc's in my 10 cc band. So it can go up to 10. She said sometimes, very, very rare, she has seen someone pushed up to 11. They can, I don't know if there's a max they can go up to or whatever, but that's what she said to me. It's not very often, because I was thinking, oh man, there's only 3 cc's left. That's not a lot of playroom. But anyway, so I have 7 cc's. At least now when I go for fill or defills and that kind of thing, I know where I started. So, on full fluids today, this morning when I woke up, I had chocolate milk, and I think it's 1 o'clock right now. Around lunchtime, I had cream and potato soup, which I made myself. It was very good. Just sauteed some onions and potato. I put in about 6 cups of chicken broth and let it boil for a long time till the potato was enough to blend. And I put in a can of evaporated milk, and it wasn't thick enough, so I actually just sprinkled in a bunch of flaked mashed potatoes, and it is awesome. Now I think I ate it, but then I was looking at my book at their recipes and stuff after I had ate it, because I bought the stuff to make their squash soup recipe. I actually think that I should put it through a strainer, because they said with the other recipes to put it through a strainer, so I should do that. But I ate it, no problems. Everything's going good. So hopefully we'll talk to you next week. I hear a baby just started crying up there, so I better get going. Talk to you soon. Bye.